What's up, Tiger Gang? This is JT from the Poco Moonshine family. We're back again with another episode of Chatting with Carnivores. Today we got Carrie from My Metamorphosis. How you doing, Carrie?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you, JT?
I'm doing awesome. I've been waiting to talk to you for a while about all sorts of stuff, carnivore and um, your music, love of music, and Bob Proctor. We got all sorts of stuff in common. But let's start. Where are you from and where are you at now, location wise?
I live right outside of Nashville, Tennessee, and I've been here all my life. Born and raised here. I'm very rare. There aren't a whole lot of Nashville natives anymore. People have come from everywhere else.
So what's your favorite part about Nashville?
Actually, like the music scene is great, and of course, there it's known for country, but there is a lot of rock and other types of music too. And I like to go to different shows and festivals. We have some at what we call Riverfront Park. Um, there's just various venues, some smaller, like outdoor venues, like Ascend Amphitheater is one that's just great. I went there for the first time this year and saw Candlebox, which was a great show. So we do get a lot of acts now that, back when Nashville was smaller, I don't know that we would have gotten we wouldn't have gotten those acts here. You would have had to go to Atlanta or something like that to see them. So the music is fabulous. That's my
Music.
favorite part, I
That's
think.
great. Now on the music here, what's been your favorite concert of all time?
Oh man, probably I'm gonna wow. That is so difficult, but I will say that
I figured I'd hit you with a hard one tonight.
you did. But I think just for nostalgic reasons, maybe more than anything, it's the very first concert I saw, which was Kiss on August the 14th, 1979 at the Municipal Auditorium in Nashville, Tennessee. And that it was my first show, and it was just so magical the way that they rose up from under the stage, and they were, you know, there were these smoky glows, and each one has their own color, and they just rose up from underneath the stage, and then it was just magic. And of course I knew every single song, and it was just amazing to see. They were just larger than life to me. And I was fortunate. I was 13 years old, and I can't believe that my mother let me go, or my parents. And my best friend's older brother, which he was only 16, and was 13 too, and he was the one who drove us. And of course, he was like smoking pot and stuff, and so, thankfully nothing happened. But boy, there was a lot of skunks in that auditorium that night, I will tell you.
Yeah, most
But
concerts I've performed and been to, there's always that cannabis smell in the air, you know.
yeah, that skunk. And probably the second favorite one is an old one too. Back in '82, I saw Rush, and that was right after Exit Stage left. And Rush has always been one of my favorite bands, and I sort of have different bands depending on my mood. Like, I mean, I love Pantera, and Candlebox, or maybe Alice in Chains and Megadeth. It just depends. But Rush is just so pristine. They just well, and gosh, I mean, it breaks my heart that Neil Peart passed, because I never did see them again after that. And they stayed together all those years, and I didn't get to see them. They came here, and I don't know why I didn't go, because I do love them. But yeah, the original, seeing Rush back in the day, doing all of those songs from Exit Stage Left is fabulous. Yeah.
And who was your favorite? We talked about this a little earlier before the stream, but who was your favorite in the band Kiss?
Paul Stanley, the
And
star child.
why is he your favorite?
Oh my gosh, because I just thought he was sexy, which was his whole thing, you know. And oh my gosh, I just had this big, huge crush on him. I did. I would fantasize about just going out with him and marrying him and all this.
Yeah,
If I could
Carrie,
just get
Carrie,
backstage,
Carrie.
and if he just saw me, he would. and I remember one time my mother, which it was, she wasn't trying to be mean, I don't think. No, I know she wasn't, but I was like, 15, and I was just, it was just, I wanted to meet him so bad. And she says, what are you going to do with him? He's a man, but you're a teenage girl and he's a man. And, but in my mind, I was just his perfect partner.
Yeah, you just were, it just wasn't time yet, but the time was coming in your mind. Hey, you were
Right.
on that manifesting. You were like, "Ooh, I can see it now."
I could see it.
Now, what brought you to carnivore? What's your story, Carrie? Let me know.
Well, in 2015, I went low carb, and the reason behind that was my mother was type 2 diabetic, and the quality of her life just went kaput after. I mean, it was a slower decline. It's not like it happened suddenly, but I could tell that her quality of life wasn't good. And like her, I'm like her in that I love shows, and she did too, but hers was country. And she used to go to her and my dad would go to these shows and stuff all the time. And it got to the point where she wasn't able to get out as much. She gained a lot of weight. Um, she kept taking insulin and stuff, and just her energy levels were low. She just wasn't herself anymore. And I knew I didn't want to end up like that. And so I started researching diet, and I knew from back when I had my daughter that carbohydrates, affect diabetes. I mean, back in the 80s when I had her, I had gestational diabetes, and they told me to stay away from all the white foods, bread, sugar. Yes, they actually said that back in the 80s. So, all the white foods. And so I knew the carbohydrate thing kind of in the back of my mind. But when I did research, of course, everything you found was about, becoming vegetarian, doing away with meat. Well, that wasn't going to happen. I can already tell you that. So, but I did eat a lot of salads and vegetables and stuff like that. But then I kept just the more research I did and the more digging I did, I found that I was feeling better and doing better as I went low carb. And I wasn't diabetic at the time. This was like a preemptive strike. Okay. I wanted to head it off at the pass. And it's funny because I just kept going lower and lower carb. I never, I did away completely back when I went low carb. I did away with the bread and all of that, seed oils and things like that. And then in December of last year, so I will be coming up upon my carniversary soon in December, but my neighbor works for a food supply company, and he brought me these boxes of meat. Like it was like there was bacon, Canadian bacon, hamburger patties, a big chub of bologna, just all this stuff. He would periodically bring me stuff, but I mean, this was like a load of stuff, and I don't have a freezer. So I had all this stuff like crammed in my refrigerator, and I gave some of it to my daughter and grandson. But I just started eating on that just because I didn't want it to go to waste. And then fast forward about, I don't know, about maybe 3 or 4 weeks sometime in January. And I was just thumbing through YouTube, and I saw stuff about the carnivore diet. And I'm like, wow, you know what? I guess I'm carnivore. So I just sort of stumbled into it. It was kind of a fluke, but I was basically eating what you'd call ketovore anyway. I wasn't eating very many vegetables. I can't do salads. I couldn't do salads. They were messing my stomach up. And so I just didn't even do salads at that point. It was maybe steamed broccoli with cheese sauce on it or something, or butter, something like that. And so it wasn't a hard transition for me at all. And I just discovered that, oh my gosh, my energy levels just went through the roof. Just all kinds of great benefits from it. So
That's
that's how I
awesome.
stumbled into it.
No, that's cool. And what are you eating in a week's worth of eat?
I eat a lot of ground beef. I'll either eat it in burger patties or just like have it with eggs. I eat a lot of bacon. And then I have a unique sandwich that I make, but it's not with bread, it's with bologna, and I put liverwurst in the middle.
Did you make a
And it's
video on that yet?
I haven't yet, but I'm going to. I actually thought about that, earlier today. I thought, because that's an unusual thing, and I was just, like, trying to come up with some way to I don't know, because like, eating liverwurst, I mean, you just eat a piece of liverwurst, but sticking it between the bologna just and it's delicious. And
Nice
it's
little heart attack sandwich, as, Rick would call it.
he would call it that, yeah. And so, yeah, I eat, I guess I eat maybe probably, I don't know, about maybe 4 or 5 eggs a day. Sometimes some of them are scrambled and some of them are hard boiled. I do meal prep on Sundays, and so I cook up a big pile of bacon. I mean, lots of bacon, and I cook up my what I call my meat cookies. And basically, you just get these burger patties from Kroger, and they are, I guess it's that, what is it? They're not 70-30, but it's close. It's like 27 something, doing the math. I can't do it in my head, but anyway, but they're fattier burger patties, and then I just cook up a bunch of those, like about anywhere between 24 to 30. Yeah, because I eat a lot of burger patties, and I put a lot of times I just put Redmonds on them and just eat them like that, along with either a scrambled egg or a hard boiled egg if I don't feel like cooking anything. So I do a lot of meal prep in advance because, quite honestly, I'm not your typical Southern woman. I do not cook. I'm working on that, but I would.
Why do you say you don't cook it?
I don't cook. I cook. I can cook. I don't enjoy it. And now that I live by myself, I mean, it's like whatever is just the easiest thing for me to eat. The easiest thing to fix. And depending on the day, my day job is not a physically demanding job, but it's very mentally demanding. And some days I can't even remember my name, much less, I mean, I say that, but you know what I mean. I'm just tired, and honestly, preparing food is not a priority. Like, some people just enjoy it. Like, for example, Chris cooking Nashville, he enjoys it and incorporates that into his whole carnivore thing. But for me, food prep is like, so if people are looking for food prep on my channel, you can see where I messed up my burger patties in the Ninja Foodie.
I've never tried one of those.
I did buy one. I got one on sale, and my daughter had some Kohl's Cash and stuff. So
What is it? What is it? A Ninja Foodie?
you can cook food in several different ways. It's like an air fryer, or you can like grill stuff. Like, you can cook a steak in it. And I did do a ribeye in it, and so it's easy. So I do ribeyes, but I don't buy, but maybe like 1 or 2 a week. In general, I just eat ground beef. And honestly, the only thing that I've cooked in that thing so far is I've cooked bacon in it, and I've cooked burger patties and ribeyes. So that's the only thing I've used it for. But you can also make, like, the chicken skins. You can do those like chips, kind of like the carnivore snacks or whatever. You can make them yourself, and so I am going to do that. That's one thing that I think I'm going to do a video on too while I'm at it. But
Yeah,
um,
that'd be awesome.
yeah, so yeah, my meals unfortunately are just not terribly exciting. My goal, though, is, like, for example, the first time I cooked a ribeye was when I got that foodie. So I did do a video on that. That's the first time I had ever cooked a ribeye in any way.
I've been reverse searing them ever since I went out to Carrie's homestead. We have not stopped reverse searing anything here.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good, a reverse sear. I'm telling you, it's awesome. How many meals a day are you eating, Carrie?
I eat a couple. My main meal is in the evening. I'll eat a smaller meal, like around 11 or 12. I've never been a breakfast eater, even before carnivore. and before low carb. I never really ate breakfast very often. Um, but yeah, twice a day. And then once in a while, I will snack. Like I'll keep, I eat so it's not dirty, but I mean, Dr. Berry, says they're okay. So there we go. But I'll keep like Vienna sausages, or I'll bring up like hot dogs and have some hot dogs up
I
here.
have summer sausage from time to time. I'm not
Yeah,
like totally carb free because once in a while I'll have like a breakfast sausage or so. Usually it's meat with carbs in it. I'm not gonna go for like chips or nothing. But
right,
man,
right.
if it's a breakfast sausage that I enjoy, whatever, dude. I'm eating the breakfast sausage. It is what it is.
And
But
I did forget to tell you, I do eat my sardines. I eat sardines every day. It's weird.
ooh, I've never. I don't know if I could try those,
You
Carrie.
know what? No, I'll tell you the secret. Hot sauce. And Frank's Red Hot Original is clean.
Okay,
And but there's a video on my channel that one of my first videos that I ever did. Dr. Berry always said, just grow up and, try some sardines and try cod liver. And I had never eaten either one.
I haven't grown up yet. I haven't tried either
I
one.
know, right? And I was like, oh my God, because we never had anything like that in the house when I was growing up. I mean, my mother cooked very just for lack of a better term, like straightforward meals. It wasn't, it was just, chicken and whatever, or it was, you know what I'm saying, meatloaf and mashed potatoes and peas. It was just stuff like that. It wasn't anything. We never had liver. She wouldn't cook it and she wouldn't eat it either.
Yeah, I
So,
don't, I might have had liver once. My grandfather, William's great-grandfather, he's 93. He loves eating liver, so I might have tried some of his back in the day, but otherwise, I
mhm.
really don't think I've had liver either. I'm kinda like a shy carnivore. I just stick to, like, stuff that I wanna try beef cheek, the cow cheek. I wanna try
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It
I
looks
would
like it
try
looks
it.
like a good cut,
Hmm.
but the cow
Yeah.
tongue, like, I haven't. What's the craziest thing you think you've tried on carnivore, Carrie?
I guess the craziest thing would have to be the cod livers. I ordered some from Amazon because I couldn't find any in the store. I mean, I went all over the place. I mean, there are a lot of different stores like Aldi and Walmart and Kroger and Publix. I mean, I went to all the stores. We have a Dollar General Market, which is a grocery store here. I mean, I went to all of those and none of them had the cod livers. So I ordered some. I will tell you that I don't like cod livers near as much as I like sardines. I actually ended up, after initially trying the sardines, and the appearance is a bit off-putting. I mean, they have fins on them. These didn't have heads, but they do have the fins and the tails and all that stuff on there. And the expression on my face is priceless when I looked at it. I was like, oh God. But they tasted better than I thought. And then I thought to put hot sauce on there, and it's just the perfect blend. And now I eat a can a day. So I don't,
Wow.
yeah, I eat a can of them a day. So give
I
it a
didn't see
try with
that
the hot
coming when I
sauce.
started this interview. I did not see a can a day coming.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Now, what are you doing for exercise, Carrie?
I do body weight exercises. Now, my favorite exercise though is walks, and I'm probably the only person on the planet who is glad that the time went back, because now it's daylight and I have time to take my full morning walk, which is about 2 miles, 2 to 2.5 miles every morning. And I have time to take the walk before I log in at 7 a.m. And I get to see the sun come up, and I was missing that. I would take a walk, but it was dark and I would cut my walk short because it wasn't really giving me the same thing. And now I get to see the sun come up and look at the patterns of the clouds and hear the birds. And there's not just so many people out moving around because I get out there earlier, before the people start stirring.
More
So
peaceful then.
walking is my favorite, and I hula hoop. I used to hula hoop a lot, I had a weighted hula hoop from Curves back in the day. That was a little place that, like a little women's only thing. But that workout was actually really good. Their dietary advice, not so much, but the workout was good. And I really wasn't going, I had gained a little bit of weight, but I've always been really thin. And I was going with a coworker and stuff. So that was just like kind of the main reason that I was going to Curves. I did want to, get fitter and slim down some, but it wasn't like a huge deal. But anyway, I got one of their weighted hula hoops back in the day. Now, fast forward to now, I got to talking with Christy of Meeting Wellness, and we decided to do a hula hoop challenge. And so I was going to dig my old hula hoop out, and I could see it, but it was behind these big, heavy totes in my storeroom. So I ended up having to order one from Amazon until I can get my son to move the stuff out of the way to get the other one. But it's not that I got a lot of stuff. It's just the totes were really heavy and I couldn't move them. So anyway, I do enjoy hula hooping, and we're doing a challenge now. And I'm doing at minimum 5 minutes, 2 sessions a day of that. And then the body weight exercises I do planks. I'm really not timing myself all the time. It's
I don't
just
even
like,
know what a plank is. What's a plank?
you get it, it's sort of like a push-up. It's a sort of like a push-up position, but you're on your like your forearms,
Okay.
and you just and you keep your back straight, and you just hold it. So you're not moving up and down or anything. You're just holding that position. And then there are other positions that you can do, but that's the one that I do for my planks. So and it's a good resistance, body weight exercise. And then I do squats, and I work them out, like work it out throughout the day. So like if I'm up here working, I do have room over here where I can just, do a plank, or I can get my hula hoop and hula hoop. Wow. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I can do a demo.
I used to watch that. He was on all the time when I was a young kid. Was that guy with the curly hair, and he was always exercising on TV?
Oh, Richard Simmons.
Yes, yes, he was. I always thought he was the most wild dude ever, and he was always at home like, "Come on, let's go."
Yeah.
And
I
then
mean,
then the Tybo came out. Do you remember the Tybo?
yes, I had the Tybo
Or
DVD.
Double Time, like, oh,
Yeah.
I love the Tybo. That was I had all the VHS tapes. I love that.
Yep. Yep. Me too.
Now, I haven't seen any before photos. Did you have a big weight loss, Carrie?
No, actually, I am a carnivore, low carb weirdo. I know a lot of people, actually, probably most people, start this with the goal of one of two things, either weight loss or like diabetes. I did do it to head off diabetes. However, I've always been very, very slim. Matter of fact, when I was a teenager, and my brother was too. I actually have two brothers, and we all three of us tall and very slim. And my brother used to tease me and say that when I got old, I would look like Eddie, which Eddie, Iron Maiden, skin stretched across my bones and so, yeah, so I've always been really slim. And so that was not something that, that wasn't a reason for doing carnivore. And actually, I had lost some weight when I started low carb in 2015. However, after going carnivore, I went and had my physical a couple months ago, and I was down to 110 pounds, and I am 5'9". So I've really been tweaking my diet to, increase my fats, increase my eating, and just because and incorporating all those body weight exercises and things like that, because I'm trying to build some shape. It reminds me
Some
of when I was a
curves,
teen.
right? Curves. You got
Yes,
to get
I
those
want
curves
some
again.
curves. Please, God, give me some curves. I want the butter boobs that these other women talk about, because I don't have them yet, but maybe I'll get them. I don't know.
Start chewing on those sticks of butter, girl.
I do chew on. I do. I have sticks of butter in my refrigerator that they're in a little separate section from, so if you come to my house and I happen to cook you something, which that's funny, but if if you do, I will not use my bite butter in your food. I have a separate location for my bite butter, and I just like I'll go downstairs to maybe get some water or something, and I'll just grab that bite butter and bite off a big chunk of it and put it back in there.
Yeah, I lost 88 pounds and I felt like I was getting a little too skinny. So I've been trying to eat some more
Mhm.
and do some more weightlifting. I gotta build some muscle because I'm always sitting on my tailbone, especially my ass. I gotta do those Kim Kardashian squats because I'm always sitting on my tailbone now.
And it is so easy because see, like my job is a sit down job. I work in data analytics. And so I'm just at the computer all day. And then, of course, when I'm doing things for my channel or designing shirts, just whatever project I'm working on, I mean, there again, sitting at my computer. So I do incorporate these things into my daily routine. So just as I'm working, like if I'm running a task, for example, like running a query or something, then I might, do a plank or grab the hula hoop and hula hoop, just things like that. I just work it in, and I think I'm starting to put on some weight, but here's the thing. I don't own a scale. I haven't owned a scale in years. So I couldn't tell you, but my jeans feel like they're fitting a little bit tighter. So
You
I'm
got a mirror,
hoping.
right?
So yeah, so I'm hoping that maybe I'm starting to get a little bit of shape. It's hard to tell when you live with yourself. You see yourself every day, and people who haven't seen you in a while, they would notice a change in you, but then you don't really. So
Yep, that is how it works.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just was curious because I do notice you do look. I think you've put on some muscle since even that photo I've seen that you did your interview with Carrie.
Hmm. I think I have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, and
I
that's
agree with you. So well, good. Then I'm not the only one because, like I said, it's just so hard to tell when you
I
look at
could. That's
yourself
why I
every
brought
time.
it up because I could tell. I was just curious how it was going. Now, what's your favorite? What's been your favorite part about carnivore?
Oh man, it's easy. It is, but the food is look, I've always liked meat and I've never been afraid of meat. And my children were, I mean, like when I was married to their dad, he always cooked a lot of barbecue. He had this big awning that had well, I don't know if you would call it an awning, but I mean, it was like these big poles that had a roof on it. And then he had all these smokers up under there and a stainless steel table and everything. And like he cooked barbecue a lot and would sell it actually, like Super Bowl, 4th of July, whatever, holidays and stuff. And he was always the one. That's one reason why I had never cooked a steak before, is because he cooked all the meat. So I never really had to.
But now you're probably a pro at the steaks.
I am with, yeah, that foodie makes a difference, but I do need to try the searing, like what you and Carrie do. I just haven't tried it, and I think I would be able to do it. I'm trying to rephrase things and not say that I can't do it or don't do it, but that I just haven't done it yet.
There
Because I
you
believe I
go.
can. I mean, I can follow instructions. I'm not stupid, but
That's a way better mindset.
but
That's
the
some.
way people talk to themselves, you don't
Yeah,
think about how you're talking to yourself until you're like, wait a minute, why do I say that I'm this or I'm that? It's like, no, you're not.
yeah. Unless it's I am a good I am. Like I am
Right.
powerful. I am smart. I am healthy. I am strong. I am
Exactly.
a good father. I'm a good husband. Those are the good ones we want to reinforce. Yeah, that's the consciousness. That's I
Hmm.
am. That's consciousness. Now, how did you ever get into Bob Proctor?
Oh my gosh. I'm really not sure. I think that it just came up on YouTube or something at one time. I mean, it's been several years. I mean, I've been into Bob Proctor now for gosh, yeah, several years. And um it's just and one thing that fascinated me, the first video that I watched was one of him. It was video one of his 1980s You Were Born Rich seminar. And I just loved it. It was just, I just started, I binge watched that whole thing. It's 6 videos. And I've watched it, I couldn't tell you how many times since. The positivity, the lessons, and he's right. Every time you watch it, you learn something new, or you
Hmm.
interpret it in a more enlightened way. And I can't stress, people need to go watch that. It will change your life, just your outlook on things, how you what you focus on, and just it just gets into how we're conditioned from birth to just, toward negativity and stuff. It's and just the way that what you focus on is what you end up with. And it sounds woo woo, but it's not.
No, yeah, it's not. And I was even trying to tell people with just the mindset of, like, well, I've lost this much weight, and I still catch myself saying I've lost weight, and I got to stop,
Mm,
because the mindset of losing something, normally people want to find what they've lost.
that's a good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we don't want to find some of the fat weight we've lost. Maybe we want to find some of the muscle weight we've lost, but not the fat weight. And better way to look at it is say I released that weight. It's like when you rehabilitate an animal and put it back out in the wild. You don't say
Hmm.
you lost that animal. You released them. You let it go. It's at peace now. Just let
Yeah.
it be, and that's what we should do with our weight. Say I've released 88 pounds, and someone else can. It's all energy. Someone else can use that energy. I don't ever want it back.
Right.
And you
Maybe
guys, while
some
we're
of it'll find its way to my butter boobs. I don't know.
hey, there you go. Hey, become what you think about. So just think of bigger boobs, Carrie.
Here we go.
Hey, so you guys, while we're chit chatting here, I have her channel up. If you guys could go and subscribe, that would be awesome. I'm sure most you guys might be subscribed already, but if not, we're trying to get her to 1,000 subscribes, right? We want to get you at 1,000, right?
That's right. Yep. I would be most grateful. And I will tell you that I love doing lives. I do some feature videos, but I love doing lives. And I just like commiserating with people, sharing your struggles. And just because I can't identify with the weight releasing, um, I can always encourage you. And if there's a question or something that I can't answer, I'll do my best to find somebody who can. And I just welcome interacting and just talking with people and just sharing our triumphs and our challenges, whatever. I just enjoy it so much.
Yeah, you got to enjoy it while we're still alive, while we're still here to enjoy it. So you guys go and subscribe. I don't care how many channels you're subscribed to. It's always nice to see new content pop up and to learn and be entertained. So make sure you go subscribe. Now, do you mind if we say hello to the crowd for a minute?
Oh, yeah, let's do.
All
Yes,
right.
let's do.
We got a lot of put a Q in front of a question here you guys got for Carrie, and I'll check, see if I missed any. Wow, there's a lot of comments here. Let's see here. We got William in the house. Susie says, hi, Carrie. Susie Underwood.
Susie.
Hi, Carrie and JT. How you doing, Susie? Susan E. Hi, JT and Carrie. Hey, how you doing?
Ah, Susan. Susan, my bud.
Running Tap 12. Good day. Good
Good
day.
day.
Hey, that's not salt. This is salt. Does that work? I
Salt.
don't know. We'll see. We'll
This
count
is
it.
salt.
Right. Let's see. Running Tap 12. Never heard of Rush.
You know, that's funny. There is a guy on YouTube. oh my gosh, Andrew Rooney Drums, who is in Australia, and he had never heard of Rush either. And somebody on YouTube had suggested to him that he check them out. So I was surprised that Rush wasn't just like huge everywhere, but apparently they were not very well known in like Australia and New Zealand. They were known in England and like other parts of Europe, but in terms of so yeah, I can understand that you had never heard of Rush, but I really encourage you to check them out. Their music is it's what they call progressive rock. Very and it's 2112. Put your headphones on, just lay down and just go on the journey. Yeah.
Ah, that
Do it.
sounds
I
fun.
recommend 2112.
Running Tap 12 says, nobody in Kiss is sexy.
Well,
LOL.
they're not now. back in the oh man, I mean, Paul was all nice and muscular and he had that chest and his hairy chest, and he was just I thought he was just incredibly sexy. I didn't think
Now
that
we know
Gene
one of
was.
Carrie's turn-ons is a nice hairy buff chest, you guys out there. So she's giving herself away tonight.
Yeah.
See, now that if you see guys that start unzipping it a little bit around you, you start to know that you're starting to
Something
manifest
like
that, Carrie.
you saw my interview with JT, didn't you?
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Rick, it's time to cook your bird. What bird, Rick? You got some ducks fighting out in the front yard again?
Oh boy.
William says, running tap 12. You don't know who Rush is. How old are you?
Yeah, no, it's a regional or a just a thing in the world. I mean, they just weren't that popular there. People didn't know who they were.
Nothing
They
wrong
just
with
didn't
that.
know.
Booby Goats, what's up? What's up,
What's up?
everybody? Bruce, howdy, folks. Howdy, Bruce. Running tap 12. I'm 58. LOL. Okay, 58.
Yeah, you're at my age. So yeah, check them out. Check them out.
What's the best song to check out by Rush?
2112. I
Oh, you
love
just said
2112.
2112.
Or you could listen to the whole Exit Stage Left album. It was actually recorded live,
Hmm.
and it's got their best songs on it. Well, their best songs up to that point. They have an amazing repertoire, but that is my favorite time period for them. Although all their music, even up into the 2000s, was great.
You're a music buff, Gary.
Mm.
Karen Harrington, hi JT and Tiger Gang. What's up, Karen?
Hey.
Uh-oh. Rick says there's a pigeon nest on my air conditioner. Oh man. Yeah, I think there's gonna be
Oh.
a bird getting cooked up here. Rush is a Canadian band. I'm 56 years and have been to a lot of concerts. The 1980s were a fun time. Did you ever used to collect those pins with your jean jacket in the 80s?
I do have some. I collected concert shirts,
They go
and
for a
so
lot of money now.
I have a lot of them, and I wear them on my channel when I'm like this one here is actually a newer shirt, but this is from a band called Kilmaine Saints that I saw at the Highland Games, and they are a Celtic metal band. Yes,
You
that's
getting
right. They
Celtic,
call
huh?
it folk rock, but it's actually they're Celtic metal.
Wow.
So that's pretty fabulous. Yeah. So
Well,
I always get shirts whenever I see somebody play
that's
if I
cool.
like them.
How do you keep all your shirts nice over the years? Do you like hang them up on a hanger and or do you frame any of them? What's the secret?
I some of them I didn't wear for a long time. And then a few years ago, I was like, I'm just going to break them out and wear them. And they're great conversation pieces. I've still got the Kiss shirt from 1979 when I saw them, that very first concert. I've got that shirt.
Wow.
So I just wear them. And so I guess if there's anything left of them, I guess my son will get them. He's the music buff like me. And my daughter's into music too, and she has a very diverse taste. But my son just like he always liked to look at my Kiss stuff before I got the room set up. I used to have the stuff in totes, and he'd say, "Mama, get the Kiss stuff out." And so we'd get it out and look at
That's
the
fun.
lunchbox and the the Kiss figures and the games and the puzzles and the trash can. We got the trash can back there. I don't know if you can see it, but there it is.
That's
The Kiss
awesome.
trash
That's a metal
can.
one, right? Like, they
Yeah.
used to have the metal ones all the times in the '90s when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
Yeah.
how old are your kids, for those who don't know?
My daughter is 38 and my son is 29.
Wow. And you had a nice gap in between them, huh? You took a break.
Yep. That was actually on purpose because I used to fight with my brother. I had one brother that's 3 years younger than me, and I was the oldest, or am the oldest, but I would pick on him. I mean, like I would rub his face in the dirt and stuff. I was
Oh,
mean to him
no.
until he got bigger, and then that stopped. Um, but then, like when my other brother is 10 years younger than me, and he was like my little pet. And like I would teach him band logos. Like this was way before he could read. And this is Kiss and this is ACDC. And so then I would take him to the record store in the mall and he knew all the logos. And all my friends just thought that was so cool that he knew all that stuff. I mean, he was a little bitty thing, like 3 years old. And
And
he
he
knew
knows
who
the
they
band
all
logos. That's awesome. Running tap 12. I've never loved cooking either except with the wine in my hand.
were. Oh,
That's the
yeah,
way to
that'll
do
make
it.
it bearable, I guess.
Hey, you just put on some of that Rush music and start whipping around the kitchen.
We do some Pantera or something for cooking.
Oh, you got
Energy.
I like
Well,
that.
style. Have you
Yeah,
seen those videos? Oh my gosh. There's a guy who does it's sort of like South Park or King of the Hill style videos
I love
of and
South
it's
Park.
called
They're
Cooking
hilarious.
Hostile and it's got like a cartoon version of Phil and Selmo and oh my gosh, they're so morbid. They're awesome. You
You know what?
watch.
I miss watching the celebrity death matches.
Oh
Remember that
yeah.
on
Mhm.
MTV, those little clay fighters?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I hadn't thought of that in a long time,
I
but
know.
yeah.
That'll take you back right there. I used to love that. It's like that was like that and TRL back in the day. That was the MTV shows I would watch on there.
Cook with wine, Wine. Yes, I hear you, Keto Oregonian. Same here.
Heart attack burger patties are sizzling on my stove. Let's go, Rick.
Yes.
I don't miss cutting up a lot of veggies. Yeah. If you guys got a cue, put it in front. We're looking for cues now. We've read a bunch of comments here. People saying it's hard for them to get into sardines. Did you have to have like a chaser? Did you have like a did you have something to drink after you ate those sardines, Carrie?
No, actually, I didn't. I just, when I tried them the very first time, and it's hilarious, and I don't even know why I did it, but I opened up the can and then I just reached in with my fingers. I love Judas Priest, by the way, William. They're like I don't know, they're way up there. And I did see them back in the 80s too. And they were, yes, fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Screaming for Vengeance. Yes, that was the tour that I saw them. But anyway, so I opened up the can of sardines and I just reached in and just grabbed one. I mean, it was all floppy and stuff. And I just popped it in my mouth. And that was how I ate them the very first time I tried them. And I did do that on video. So then I started eating them then actually, strangely enough, with a spoon. And I put because they're not hard, they're very soft. And so I just put a lot of hot sauce and then I just scoop it up and just eat it with a spoon. And I mean, I don't really like look at it. And
Just throw it
I
down the
eat it.
hatch, right?
And it's delicious. It's actually very, very good with the hot
Hmm.
sauce on there.
There you guys go. Sardines with the Frank's Red Hot original, right?
Yep, red hot original. And it's clean.
Sandra McDonald, cow cheeks are mad delicious. I'll have to try them.
Ooh. I've never had them either.
Yeah, they do look good though when I go there. I tried bison pancreas one time. Do not recommend. Oh yeah,
Yeah, that sounds bizarre.
yeah. No, I've never
I
had
did
that.
eat haggis. I ate haggis at the Highland Games Festival,
What's
and
haggis?
it is well, it's different actually in Ireland and Scotland, and you know it's a native Celtic dish, but here in the United States, you can't make it traditionally. But the one that I had beef heart, beef liver, and beef lung, and it's scrambled up like ground beef is what it looks like, and then I had it with a side of eggs sunny side up. Is how I
What's your
had
favorite
mine.
way to eat eggs? If you can only have eggs one way the rest of your life,
Over easy.
over easy. What about you
I
guys in the
love I
comments?
love the runny part. The yolk, the runny yolk.
Yeah, for me, you
Love it.
guys put in the comment what way you'd like your eggs the rest of the if you can only have them one way the rest of your life, how would you like them? I'd like them scrambled.
I'll eat them any way I can get them, but I really like the over easy ones.
Over easy. Nothing wrong
Yep.
with that. Beef tongue is really good, Susie says. It's just odd looking before you cook it. Yeah, it's definitely odd.
Mhm.
But my beef farmer has like a pack of 3 of them, and you just see these big cow tongues in there. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, and see, I think that's a big thing. We just weren't raised like a lot of people in the South, though. They would eat things like the brains, like they would have eggs and brains, and they would have chitlins, which I've smelled those cooking. I don't care. I'm not going to eat a chitlin. It's intestines. Not going to eat that. But they would eat the pickled pig's feet. They would just eat all this stuff, and
My
I
dad used to
wasn't
eat pickled
raised
pig's
eating
feet
that
all the
stuff
time.
because my dad's Canadian and my mother was from Nebraska, and so they moved here to Nashville for music and stuff, and so I wasn't raised in a traditional Southern household, I guess, so I didn't eat that stuff, but like I knew people who did, and but I just never had that in my household. So
Yeah, I've never tried brains. G
I
from
actually
Hanging with
did
the
have
Browns was talking about it the other day.
I did have brains and eggs when I was about 13. I went with my friend Tanya to her great aunt Lucille's house, and yeah,
We
she
must,
lived
we
way
must,
out in
we
the
must
boonies.
increase our bus.
Yes, we must.
Hey, there's an affirmation for you while you're eating the butter. You know what I'm saying?
While I'm eating that butter, I'm gonna visualize those butter boobs.
Yeah. Just tune into the Dolly Parton, the get the fingernails going and they'll start growing out of nowhere, I'm sure.
That's my problem. I don't have the nails and I don't have the big
She's
hair.
always clicking them.
Yeah.
She's a very nice lady. She donates a lot of books and stuff. She does a lot of
Mm-hmm.
donating. She's just a wonderful woman. I wish,
Oh,
she would just take over the world. That would be awesome, Dolly.
she is a Tennessee treasure. I love her to death.
Mhm. Buy a Carrie shirt. She designs great t-shirts. Yeah, Carrie,
Oh.
where can people get your shirts?
I'll I've got a spreadshirt shop, but of course you can't see it. I can't advertise because but I do have a link in my community tab.
Okay, I'll send me the link and I'll put it in the description for this video.
Cool. Okay.
And I'll
I'll
say,
do that.
if you guys are wondering, if you're watching this back on the replay too, if you're looking for a link to buy her shirts, I'll have the link in the description as soon as I get done with this.
Fabulous.
Yes,
Appreciate that.
no problem. Question, Carrie, what is your favorite benefit from the carnivore way of eating?
Oh man, and I didn't tell the most important one. Thank you for reminding me, Susie. My favorite benefit is no more anxiety. Do you think for 1 minute that before carnivore, I would be doing a live stream and exposing myself on YouTube, having a channel? I've always loved people. and I always wanted to associate with people and stuff. But like the whole time that I was doing it, I would have just these thoughts about, you know, what do they think of me? Was that stupid? You know, just things like that. And then also I've experienced anxiety to an extent my whole life from the time I was 20 years old.
Mm.
And when I was 20, I had this like what could only be described as a panic attack, and it was terrible. It was terrifying, and I never told anybody, and I just suffered with it. And I just had this anxiety, and it would like wax and wane. It would like go away for a while and then just something. And I never was really clear on what triggered it. Although now, years later, I look back and I think it was food. I think something that I ate would trigger it.
Mm.
But after I went carnivore, now it had gotten a lot better, but I still had it. But then after I went carnivore, it's gone. No panic attacks, no anxiety. My focus is so much better. I can handle a stressful situation. Oh, for example, let's see. How about when the critters from the woods next to my house chewed the wiring under the hood of my car? Yes, and so that's a thing. And it was $5,300 worth of damage. Of course,
Oh no.
thank God, though, comprehensive car insurance did cover it. My comprehensive, it depends on the policy that you have. Mine actually did cover it. But boy, you talk about stressful. And I didn't have my car for like a month because they had to wait to get the wiring harness and just all these different parts to fix it. And I mean, they had to replace a lot of stuff.
Wow.
I had the water meter had a leak, and so my yard was full of water. Just different, my dad, the retirement community that he's living in was being sold, and we were having to find a place for him to live quickly. Just things like that. I mean, I had numerous things, and I would have freaked out over any number of those, any of them. But it's like I was just able to calmly think through it more and reason through it, and just not. I didn't have to call my. Not that I ever nagged my kids. I was always very cognizant of like not bothering them with things, because I don't want to be a burden to anybody. They would help me. I know they would if I needed it. I just, but now it's like I can just I don't freak out over stuff. I don't just get into it, worry and fret and just get into a tizzy. And then a cool thing is my brother, I don't know if he suffered anxiety to the extent that I did, but he did suffer with it, and he is eating low carb. He is not carnivore yet, but I'm working on him. But no, I don't nag him. But it's just funny though. Like anytime we go anywhere together, it's funny because like he'll say, "Well, you go ahead and order," and then I'll order. And he'll just say he's having what I'm having. So like if we go to a Mexican restaurant, I get the steak with the eggs, and so he'll order that, or just however I order. And
You
he'll
gotta
just
be a
say,
good
"Yeah, I'm
leader
having
then,
that."
Carrie. You gotta be a good leader, set a good example because he's doing what you're doing.
Yep, he is. And so he does eat some vegetables and stuff still, but he is low carb, and so it's like, yeah. And then I
What
have
does
a
the rest of
friend
your
I think
family say?
who's going that way too. Yeah.
What does
Well,
the rest of your family say about your diet?
they truthfully they have just accepted the fact that that's how I eat. They don't have any. I wasn't really raised with this fear of fat either. Like my parents weren't afraid of fat. Like, oh, we have to cut out the red meat or the fatty meat and all this. So there
We
wasn't
used to pat
anything.
the bacon down with paper towel. Did you ever
Oh,
do that? Get some of the grease out of it, which I don't do anymore, but
oh Lord, I don't. I don't. So yeah, my kids, now my daughter eats low carb. She it's kind of a struggle for her, I think, partly because she is a cook and she likes to make things, and she'll make the keto treats and stuff. So, and of course, my grandson, which I get crotchety in my old age, I would just be saying, look, if you don't like what I cook, fix something yourself. But I guess she won't do that with it. So it's hard. I understand it's hard to cook, multiple things for multiple people, but they just have accepted it. So they just know that if we go somewhere to eat, there's just got to be meat there that I can eat. And my friends are the same way. I had one person that I have known for years, and this person, I believe, was speaking out of love. I really do. But this person expressed a concern that I was not getting nutrients because I wasn't eating vegetables, and was kind of lecturing me about it. And I just look at it as it was kind of a shock, because really I haven't had that many people say anything like that to me. Really, yeah, not anything to that extent. And so it was surprising that she said that, but I just think that they were coming from a place of love, and so I just kind of let it go. But my family and friends in general, they just accept it. That's just We just have to go somewhere where they have meat.
Hey, I'm glad to hear that they're letting you do you. It's always a lot nicer when your family doesn't argue with you on everything.
I do
S
have an Aldi.
You do have an Aldi?
Mhm. Yep, right down the road, and I go there quite often.
I guess the, frozen burger patties are pretty good?
Yeah, they are. I've gotten their frozen burger patties before. The Kroger ones are what, 70, they're 73.27, I think is the correct number. In other words, they're a little more fatty. A little, I mean, it's not that that's going to make that big of a difference, but generally I get my burger patties at Kroger just for that reason. But I have gotten them at Aldi's
I've been
before,
hearing that
and
there's beef
Aldi's has
bacon
a
at Kroger.
good full fat yogurt too.
Do
They
they?
have a good.
Check out the beef bacon at Kroger. I've been hearing people say Walmart and Kroger's got beef bacon.
Oh, I've never tried beef bacon.
Oof, ooh, it's so good, and it's a way if you're
Really?
on the lion diet and you still want bacon, get beef bacon, you don't have to break your lion diet. Mm,
Oh wow. I've been thinking about going lion. I might do it just to see what happens.
yeah, yep. If you do, let me know. Susie says, "Oh, Celtic metal sounds cool."
It is.
Keto Vorgonian, I'm fond of Fly By Night by Rush. My first
Mhm.
concert ever was Rush, and my dorm room had a pencil drawing on brick of the owl from that album cover. Memories, sigh.
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's
And their
awesome.
artwork was always very thought provoking too, like the artwork on their albums.
Now, here's a quick one here. What vegetables do you miss, if any, Carrie?
Oh, well, I have one. Yeah, potatoes. If I have to pick one, and I don't think about it unless it's something like Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter. And
You like those mashed potatoes, huh?
oh, yeah. I mean, yes, yes, and I'm talking the good homemade ones, and I know how to make. Now, that is one thing I do know how to fix is mashed potatoes. I do know how to cook those. I mean, and I'm talking like the homemade ones, and
Lots of
the
butter.
gravy just oozing over the sides, or just with butter, big chunks of butter in the middle. Either way, I'll eat them. And so, yeah, that's the one that I miss, is mashed potatoes.
I'm just going through people's votes here. Scrambled eggs, sunny side up, over medium, sunny side
Mm,
up. Wow, a lot of sunny side ups. I thought the scrambled would have been a little bit more popular. Here we got scrambled here. You guys are
butter,
funny.
yep.
All right, we can sneak this one here. Did you have any challenges when you transitioned over to carnivore, Carrie?
No, I didn't, because well, for one thing, it wasn't really a conscious choice. I just sort of started eating the meat that my neighbor gave me, and I wasn't really eating any vegetables to speak of. I mean, I was eating some, like I said, I would get like the frozen broccoli and stuff, and sometimes I would have the broccoli with the cheese sauce on it, or the cauliflower with the cheese sauce, or with butter. Um, but other than that, I didn't eat that many vegetables, so it wasn't. Yeah, other than like I said, on holidays or something like that, I would have on occasion I would have mashed potatoes. Uh, Once in a while, but not very often. So since going carnivore, though, no, I didn't have a challenge with transitioning,
That's
because
great.
I wasn't really consciously transitioning. I just sort of like, oops, oh, well, hello, I'm carnivore now.
That's awesome. Yeah, you did it the easy way then, you tricked yourself into it almost.
Yeah, thanks to my neighbor. And it was so sad because like he gave me all this stuff and then he says, "Yeah, my doctor said I can't have this meat." And I was
Fire
like,
that doctor.
"Man,"
Fire
I was
that
like,
doctor.
yeah,
But
I
that was
was
a
like,
blessing in disguise because it got you onto carnivore, and maybe he'll get back onto carnivore. So I look at that as like a blessing in disguise.
yeah, and I've talked to him multiple times since then, and I had thanked him profusely for the meat, and he's brought some things over since. Not nearly the haul that I got that time, but he brings things on occasion. And I'll tell him, that I'll say, well, like look it up online, eating, fatty meat and stuff is good for you. It gives you, the cholesterol for your brain, and and I tell him that your blood sugar doesn't spike up and stuff like that, so I talked to him about it some, but um so maybe hopefully he's eating more meat, because I mean it would be a shame for him to get that stuff and not be able to enjoy it. I mean, all that bacon, my
Mm.
gosh. Nice, good thick cuts of bacon.
Try the beef bacon. Now,
I am. I'm going to.
we're
I'm
at our
going to.
hour. I want to respect your time. Do you have to take off, or you got time
Nope.
for a couple more questions?
I got time.
Okay, we'll keep going here. I just want to make sure I try to get through most of this here. Running tap. We got another vote for scrambled. Let's go. Looks like
Team
most people watching
scrambles.
like scrambled and sunny side up. So Susan, my grandfather used to eat sheep brains. Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know if
Yeah.
I would ever try that. Would you try that, Carrie?
I don't know. I might if it was mixed with something. Like if it was mixed with eggs or something. Because like
Or
I
head
tried
cheese? Is that another name for it? Head cheese?
no, I think head cheese.
I've
I'm
never
really
had
not
head cheese.
sure. It has the pork brains in it, but I don't know what exactly head cheese is. I don't know if it's a type of sausage or something, or you know what I'm saying, like a type of meat, like where they grind it together. I'm not sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've never tried something.
I've never had it. I've heard of it, but I've never had it.
I want to try beef bacon scrambled and over medium. Yes, try the beef
Mm.
bacon. It's amazing. It's basically beef brisket.
Oh, I'm gonna go to the store early in the morning before everybody else gets out, and
Yeah,
I'm
and go
gonna
to
get
your
some.
butcher and your local butcher shop and ask them for some of the belly cuts on the cow, because pork bacon is just belly cuts from the pig, and you can get belly cuts from the cow. So just go to your local butcher shop and ask them, and then that's a great place to pick up some tallow, and you can make some of Rick's
Oh,
heart attack chicken. Have you tried Rick's heart
ooh,
attack chicken yet,
no, I
Carrie?
have not. It
Ooh,
sounds great.
he's got a video on his channel, so hopefully you guys go check that out before you check mine out. But I made my own Rick's heart attack chicken video, and it's got Rick on the thumbnail and the chicken. So shout out to Rick. I'm learning all the heart attack recipes from Rick.
I just like watching all of his videos. They're just so good. It's interesting, just the different stuff that he gets to messing around with.
Yeah, he's like a real life Marvin the Martian, or like Bugs Bunny. He's a real life Looney Tune. I love that guy. Rick's a good guy. And when I get my new YouTube camera, I'm actually sending Rick my the camera I'm using now, so he could step up his channel quality a
Oh,
little
that's
bit.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I wanna
great.
it's a GoPro, and he'll be able to strap it to his chest and, take us on iguana hunts and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, wow.
I think his content's gonna
Oh,
go through the
fabulous.
roof when he gets this GoPro.
I think I need to upgrade to one of those. I'm still using, like, very basic stuff.
Yeah, yeah, you do what you gotta do. I'm still using a GoPro right now till I get my new camera, but, you just upgrade
Oh,
whenever you
wow.
can, you know? You just, take it a upgrade at a time.
A pacemaker pizza, what's that?
Rick, let
Can
us
you
know, what's a pacemaker pizza?
share with the audience?
You got us, hungry now. Cheryl says scrambled in brown butter. Another vote for
Mm.
scrambled.
Scrambled is moving up. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
they
starting to
might
take
be
the lead
winning.
here, Carrie.
Yep,
Yeah, let
team
us know. What's
scrambled.
this pacemaker pizza, Rick? We're waiting on you, my dude. You gotta type faster. Um, oh, okay. He says it's chicken crust pizza fried in lard.
Oh.
Wow. That sounds amazing. How do I get it in the lard without like it coming all apart? Because I know you probably mix some
Hmm.
egg with the chicken crust, probably, right?
I
Now,
would say,
while we're
yeah.
waiting for him, I got a question. Wh-
Sure.
what's on your heart? What would you like to speak to the people about, Carrie?
What would well, a couple of things. One is be very careful about what you let into your life and what you think about. Um, so often we get caught up in who's right and who's wrong, or who said this and who said that, this person and that, and just all the drama. And whether it's, I mean, it doesn't even have to be political drama. It can be family drama. It can be anything. Just be very careful about what you think about, and just, um, focus on the good. And also, if you're out there struggling with anxiety, try carnivore. And if you're not on the proper human diet spectrum yet, in other words, if you're eating standard American diet, ease into it. I believe you can jump right in if you want to, but before you do, I recommend you watch Dr. Barry's Carnivore 101 videos before you do that, so that you're prepared. But the thing is, just gradually work your way to carnivore, because it will be it doesn't have to be this way. I just thought that I would have anxiety for the rest of my life. I just thought that, oh, well, it just comes and goes, and that's just the way I am. That's just the way it is. And it isn't. It doesn't have to be that way at all. So give it a try. Give it a try.
I love that message. It can be different.
Yes.
Rick says you need a large pan on the fire. Yes, mix eggs with white meat chicken in a blender. Okay, okay.
Hmm.
There you guys go. That's the pacemaker pizza right there. Carrie, would you take $1 million to go back to your old way of eating?
I knew you were going to ask me that question. And I was trying to figure out a way to work around it where I could get the $1 million and still be carnivore. But I'll have to say, I would not take the $1 million. I would find some other way. I would manifest it. I would do other things to get the $1 million. Actually, I'm working on that. So
You know how many
uh,
concerts you can go to and how many band shirts? You could start a band shirt museum with $1 million.
I could. However, I'm going to enjoy my life as a carnivore and just make my $1 million on my own. And I can do that.
Yeah, I feel like you can. How could you even want to spend the million if you feel like crap and you're on your way
Well,
out?
exactly. I mean, it's especially, I mean, it's like now I can just, I mean, I've always gone to the shows and stuff like that, but I mean, now it's like I'm just more like when we were, oh my gosh, I would have been a nervous wreck before, like when I sat with my son in the box seats at Kiss, his company, and like there were these higher ups from his company that were in this box along with us. And I would have been like a nervous wreck, like feeling like, oh my God, did that sound stupid? What do they think of me? I don't want to embarrass Hunter, whatever. And instead, I was very relaxed. And, Hunter actually reported back to me that they liked me. So, or I don't know. It was a whole different experience, I think, than it would have been if I were, before, because I know I would have stewed about it. I would have worried, do I look presentable or what? Just all these things, my hair, everything. I would have just been just nervous about it. And now I can just enjoy things. And it's like, I just have I mean, I always want to look my best and be my best. But at the same time, it's like, if you don't like me, this is me. My channel is me. I love my music. I love, wearing my concert shirts. I have a Southern accent like Dr. Barry. Um, and this is me.
And you
And
got that rock star attitude. This is me. You don't like it, go buy tickets to another show. You know what I'm saying? I
that's
love
right.
it.
This is me.
This is Arlene. Hopefully, Arlene. I'm sorry about that. Arlene Blackwood. Thank you, JT and Carrie, for all the encouragement and fun. Absolutely, yeah. I have a blast. And I get to know you guys when you share your story. And what better way than you guys to just take me through these journeys where you're just improving your health and getting back to going to those concerts and getting back to just like you said, just concert mode where you don't even care what people are thinking because you're in your band shirt and the music's playing and you're just in the moment. And I feel like
Hmm.
more of us would benefit if we went less in the past, because even if the past isn't that great for some of us, it doesn't make us. It does not make our future, and there's no reason to be anxious about the future if we just worry about the present. Do like Carrie does. You put your band shirt on, throw that hair back, and just enjoy the show and get right into it. Get into the moment. I love that mindset you got, Carrie. It's awesome.
And thank
Mama
you, Mama
Cracker.
Cracker.
Good meeting you, Carrie. Good talk. Yeah, she's excellent talker. And you guys, she does a lot of live streams. If you guys aren't keeping tabs on her, let's pull up your channel one more time before we go, okay?
Yeah, I have to confess, I love doing lives. I like interacting with people. I enjoy I like having guests, and I also just like interacting with people in the chat. Um, so please come visit my channel because I would love to get to know you,
Yeah,
and
lots of
I'll
lives.
encourage
Wow.
you.
You've got a lot of lives, girl.
I
Yeah, you
know.
guys go and subscribe to her channel. That would be awesome. You guys can keep tabs on her, see which concert she's going to, what she's listening to. What do you work out to, Carrie?
Oh gosh, I work out to stuff like Pantera.
Yeah.
Like when I'm doing like, especially if it's now, I will say that when I take my morning walks and I walk very briskly and stuff, I don't wear headphones or anything. I go and I listen to the birds and I just watch my surroundings, look at the sunrise, watch the colors as they build up in the sky as the sun comes up. So I don't listen to anything while I'm walking except for the birds and the crickets and whatever. But if I'm doing a workout with weights or something like that, then yeah, it's people like Pantera and Disturbed and
That's awesome. I was very interested to see what you pick for your hula hooping and your working out and stuff.
now when I'm hula hooping, I honestly I'm generally just like it's in between working it in like while I'm working. So a lot of times I'm not really listening to anything. But if I do happen to be working out with weights and stuff, it's like oh stuff. Sometimes Judas Priest, older metal I'll listen to.
That's cool. Running Tap 12. Love you just the way you are, Carrie. Oh, it's
Oh,
nice to you.
thank you.
Arlene Blackwood, just subbing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Arlene. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. Thank you.
Running Tap 12. Question, JT. You didn't answer my vegetable question. Oh, I'm sorry. What question? What vegetable do you miss? I think that was your question. Um,
Oh,
I
maybe
get
she
so
was asking you too. Mine was potatoes,
Oh, okay, yeah, I
mashed
get so into
potatoes.
just making sure the guest is answering questions. Yeah, I would say potatoes, and I know you can't call it a vegetable, but ketchup. It's most of it's sugar, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I would say potatoes and ketchup.
So
That
you're a team potato too, huh?
yeah, yeah, French fries and ketchup, but it is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
You start getting hooked on these ribeyes and stuff, and it's addicting. The lives are wonderful, great to interact with the community. Absolutely, Susie.
Yep, I
Susan
agree.
E. Carrie always lifts me up, especially if I've had a bad day. She is a ray of sunshine. She is, man. She's a blessing to this community, and we're lucky to have her. We're lucky that you found that old you where you're just like, hey, there ain't nothing holding me back. I'm gonna put myself out there, and it's tough, man, for people to put themselves out there and share their business like that. But it helps someone out there relate, and that's so
Mhm.
important. And we might be all going through different things, but we're all going through these things together, and
Yep.
that I find just so awesome. That God has all these people in our lives here. We get to subscribe, and I'm sure if you guys are having a bad day, if you commented on one of Carrie's videos, I'm sure she would hit you back and give
You
you
bet.
some words of encouragement, as well as I. B dog, hey,
Oh,
just got home from work. Good to see y'all. Good to hear from you, B Dog.
yeah.
I can't see you, but you can see us. That's how this works right now. Yes, there we go. It's hey there. Yes, get a hula hoop. Let's go. Join Carrie and Christy from Meeting Wellness.
Mhm.
Yes, now I had a blast. Did you have a good time,
I've
Carrie?
had a great time. It's been a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
I had. And what are some of those photos on the back wall there? Is that more band stuff? Just
Let's
give us a
see.
quick tour.
Okay, over there, those are actually Kiss figures,
Oh, I thought those might be action figures.
and then that's the painting of Eddie that I did.
You paint?
I do,
Can you
yeah.
show us that painting?
I'm getting back into it, but this is one I did actually in 1984.
Yeah, let's see it. I'd love to see it. Wow, you guys, Carrie painted that.
So there's Eddie.
Wow.
I don't know
And that
how
was
good.
1984 you painted that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Uh, Funnily enough, that used to hang. That used to hang in my office at work. Um, I actually, had gotten to the point to where I had an actual office, and everybody else who had offices, like they would almost make it like their house or something, like they would just decorate, they would just bring all this stuff. And then my thought was, well, if I ever have to leave, um, I'll have to take all this crap back out of here. This isn't my home. However, people would ask me, well, are you going to decorate? You need to hang some paintings or something. So my little smarty pants self took Eddie, and my son was little. He was like about 6 and 5 maybe, and he would. The manager that I had at the time was really super cool though, and she would let me let him come to work with me sometimes, but he always behaved himself. But so I was going to work and I had him with me and I had Eddie with me. And Hunter's like, why is Eddie in the car? I said, I'm taking him to work. And he says, why? And I said, I'm going to hang him on my wall. And he says, they're going to let you hang Eddie on your wall. And I said, well, I guess we'll find out. And they did. It was a great conversation piece. People would come in there and be like, oh, wow. Some people were like, they would just look real funny and not say anything. And then other people would just ask about it, like, oh, where did that come from? Or what is that? Or who is that? And then, just take it from there. So
That's awesome.
it's the story of Eddie.
Yeah, no, cool. I enjoyed the tour. And what's on the other wall over there?
Those are Kiss comics and Howard the Duck comics.
Oh, Howard the Duck. You like that one?
Kiss was featured in Howard the Duck. And I think it was, let's see how many of them. 1, 2. There are 3. So the other comics are some of the Kiss Psycho Circus comics that came out in the 90s. And the Howard the Ducks, of course, were in the 70s. And Howard was having these hallucinations, like he was in jail. And Kiss came to him and this was pre-Kiss comic. Kiss later did a comic. So this was the sort of the precursor to that. and kind
Wow.
of gave them the idea to do a Kiss comic after having them featured in Howard the Duck.
That's so cool. And you've got the history right on the wall. Now we
Yeah.
got Rick the Duck hanging out here.
Yes, we do have Rick the Duck. Somebody needs to do a comic.
So Susie, that's so cool. Carrie, love it. Yeah, her painting is awesome. She's
Oh, thank you.
very talented. JT and Carrie, I like your shorts. Thank you. Thank you. Are you doing any shorts, Carrie?
I've got like 2 or maybe 3. I'm trying to, like I take my phone with me when I go walking, for example. And okay, and here's something, and I'm gonna just like overcome it. I shouldn't do this, but I do. First thing in the morning, I don't want to record myself because I don't feel presentable. So I get up at like now I'm at like somewhere between 5:30 and 6 is when I go take my walk, and um, I mean it's like right after I feed the cat. Priorities, right? Have to feed the cat first thing. Then I meditate for 30 minutes. Then I go for my morning walk. So I'm going straight to my morning walk. I mean, that's before I have a shower or anything, which, I mean, why would you take a shower before you go? But needless to say, it's like bedhead and everything. So so maybe I'll just do this. Maybe in the morning I'll just record myself and do a short. I did do a couple of shorts of the sunrise, but you don't see me. You just see the sun.
And make some cool content. You did like a short or a video of your next rock painting, your next rock band painting.
Yes,
We would
and
love to see you paint some more rock band stuff. That would be awesome, right up your alley.
I would like to see myself do that. I used to draw and paint all the time. A I was actually going to like design logos and stuff. Matter of fact, here's one thing that I would do when I was a teenager. I would come up with these concepts for bands. So like I would design their logo, and I would have just everything, like their whole image. All I needed was a band. So like one of them was Fenris Wolf, for example. That was the name of, and the logo was of a wolf head with the full moon
That's cool.
and the mountains in the background. And yeah, so I would do stuff like that. So now I'm playing with designing shirts and stuff. And so I'm going to get back into my painting and stuff too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
popular content on the internet. People like to zone out and watch someone create a nice piece of artwork, and it's fun to see what comes out of people's imagination. Love the imagination. There's just nothing like it.
That is so true. And it starts with a thought. Like
Absolutely.
there is no original Van Gogh because it's in his head, or was.
Carnivore Hunter says, "Rock on."
Rock on.
Rick the Duck says, "LOL."
About the comic. Yeah, we need a Rick the Duck comic.
Yeah, we do. We do. I'm telling you, that's Rick, and you can get yourself a brand new old truck.
Yep.
Just buy a different old truck, that works. Hey, when you recorded the sunrise the other day, it got me up and outside. Just saying. Hey, there you
Okay.
go.
Well, all right. I'm going to start doing sunrises.
You never know. The smallest things can make the biggest impact, Carrie.
This is true. This is true. I need to not limit myself. I need to stop. I rarely do limit myself, but I have to say, I guess it was just vanity that would just be like, I ain't recording myself looking like this.
Well, you guys, I had a blast on this one. We talked about everything from Kiss to the band Rush to growing bigger breast. We've talked about it all, and
Yes,
we've had
we
a
have.
blast. We've had a
Yes.
blast. Even Howard the Duck was mentioned. This has been awesome, I tell you. And you said you'd come back sometime for an update?
Hey, heck yeah. I'll come back. Just ask me and I'll come back.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you guys, my coach always says, and my coach, I mean Bob, my coach Bob Proctor, Carrie knows him well. He always says the first law of learning is repetition, folks. So go ahead and replay this video. There's value in Carrie, and there's value in her story. We went through a lot of great stuff, a lot of fun, laughs, learning, all sorts of it, and I had a blast, Carrie.
Me too. Me too.
But that's it for this one, you guys. Thank you and goodbye. Rick, I'll do my duck face for you, for Rick the duck out here.